Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. It's glad to have you join us. We're glad to have you join us once again. I am Lydia Odije Ochi. Now the details. The recent launch of the CBN's digital currency, the E-naira, by President Muhammadu Buhari has continued to elicit reactions from key players in the nation's economic enterprise. Some of them, including the richest black man, Aliko Dangote, spoke to NTA News in Riyadh on the sidelines of the Future Investment Summit in Saudi Arabia. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The E-naira was formally activated by President Muhammadu Buhari last Monday, marking a major step forward in the evolution of money and dismantling obstacles to payment system in Nigeria. Although further modifications and enhancements to the platform will continue towards making financial transactions easier and seamless for every strata of the society, those spoken to described the initiative as a great leap forward.
I think it was a great thing. Central Bank Governor has actually done very, very well, and he's doing well because of also the support he's getting from Mr. President.
The more financial instruments we have to bring people into the banking world, the more we can pool capital together, the more people get services, the more people get access to credits, okay? And at the end of the day, everybody has money, some money, and all this money that is kept and is not in the banking system is not capable of being loaned to those who need it. And the whole idea is to be able to transfer money from point A to point B to point C, so everybody gets the benefit of it. And in the process, value is added and people get true benefits.
In 2020, remittances from abroad dropped from $2.5 billion in February to $55 million in March. Why? Because the digital space opened up. People were no longer sending their money through the central bank, because it is now everything is going digital. So everything was flying over Nigeria. But now with the E-naira, we're expecting to get into that digital space. We believe that we'll be able to bring in a lot more funding into Nigeria very easily. And of course, that will impact every sector, not just the oil sector. It will impact every sector and impact the economy very positively. And we are very happy that Mr. President has launched the E-naira.
And with coming into effect of the Petroleum Industry Act, the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva, gave a hint that full deregulation of the oil sector in Nigeria is just a matter of time.
These are pains that we as Nigerians must agree to take for us to move forward. If we don't take this pain, how are we going to move forward? Because you are spending trillions of naira to just subsidize consumption. Everybody we were even looking up to has moved on. Saudi Arabia has moved on, UAE has moved on, Kuwait has moved on. So frankly, I think that we as Nigerians must develop a national consensus that if we want Nigeria to move forward, if we want to have monies deployed to investment and development, then we must deregulate. Look, it is going to cause pain for everybody, but the choice is not to stay where we are, because that is going to keep us where we are, which of course we all agree is not the best place to be. That's why I think, yes, it is going to create pains, but it is a necessary step that Nigeria must take, especially considering the fact that it is now a law and the law must be obeyed. But of course, we must look at it and of course give some time. I'm not saying we can do it tomorrow, But we must give some time. But of course, it's just a matter of time. We must deregulate.
The Petroleum Industry Act came into effect on the 18th of August this year, marking the end of uncertainty as well as underdevelopment in the oil and gas sector of the nation's economy for decades. As a result, an estimated $50 billion worth of investments was said to have eluded Nigeria. From Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Back home, the Federal Executive Council has given approval to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, to invest in the reconstruction of 21 ongoing federal roads projects. The Ministry of Power also got Council's approval for the award of contract by TCN to strengthen and secure the national grid. State House correspondent Gideon Ifade reports on these and other deliberations at the Council's meeting. Of that in subsequent bulletin. We apologize for the loss of audio. Moving on, the Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Ambassador Sarafa Tunji Shola, has described the characterization of Nigeria by the London-based magazine The Economist as unfair, noting that the issues confronting Nigeria have been long-standing and that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is achieving tremendous results in tackling them. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, stated that in a letter written to The Economist in response to a piece titled "Insurgency, Secessionism and Banditry Threaten Nigeria," the High Commissioner, he noted that the picture presented is selective and unfair to the readers, explaining that the decay of agencies and institutions has gathered momentum for decades and there is no quick or simple fix. He reminded the organization that President Buhari has been elected twice in national elections and has been achieving tremendous progress in areas that include agriculture, creative arts, and the technology sectors. The statement added that President Buhari is also working with international partners to diminish problems associated with extremism and climate change and promised to leave the country more united. The federal government is assuring Nigerians that it is committed to repaying debts in line with the country's debt management strategy. At the close of the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning assured the borrowings are in line with the nation's socio-economic amends. We will bring you that story subsequently. The Presidential Committee on Reforms and Decongestion of Correctional Centers has called for greater attention to be paid both by the federal and state governments to the juvenile justice system in the country. This emerged from the committee's visit to the Juvenile Correctional Home in Ilorin, Kwara State. Femi Okewo completes the story.
Nigeria has only 3 juvenile remand homes owned by the federal government, one in Kaduna, another in Abeokuta, and then Ilorin. Only Lagos is known to have established any similar facility. Inadequate as these are to cater for Nigeria's rising juvenile crime rate, the Presidential Committee is more disturbed by the misuse of the federal government-owned centers by the parents and correctional officers, who have turned the centers into what the chairman described as dumping ground for children who, they claim, are beyond parental control. But far more than that, the Presidential Committee is angry that the juvenile correctional officials have completely breached the laws which allow only juveniles within 16 to 21 years of age to be kept in the centers and through valid court orders.
What the law wanted to insulate the children by saying it is an institute meant for them is being really practicalized on them, on natural offenses in terms of sodomy by the aged that have been brought here. That is why the young ones are not meant to be in the adult incarceration centers.
The visit also revealed that although the Gama Center in Ilorin is named a training institute, not much is going on in terms of instilling skills and knowledge. As a result of all these, but particularly because nearly all the inmates did not fulfill the legal conditions for remand, about 65% of them were released after strenuous screening by a technical committee which had the UNODC and UNICEF as members. It is not sufficient just discharging these inmates. There is a painstaking process of contacting the parents who must come and take possession of the students as a measure of safety. But it was not just gloom alone during the visit. 2 students who passed their wax exam while in the center were also released and granted scholarships. As has become part of the tradition of the Presidential Committee, books that can build the inmates were presented from the office of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo. Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
Security experts are advocating the continued application of kinetic and non-kinetic approaches in dealing with security challenges in the country. Security correspondent Francis Fom reports that this was during a maiden symposium organized by the Center for Security and Legal Studies, University of Abuja.
The current security challenges being experienced in some parts of the country necessitated the setting up of this center by the University of Abuja.
Our goal is to move all parts of this nation to begin to look for solutions to this reality.
It is a research center on extensive and innovative designs ranging from legal and security issues that will assist security agencies to confront emerging trends and threats across the country.
What are the provisions made for these universities on the issue of research on security and defense? Any policy devoid of research work cannot work.
It is the view of security experts that the level of terrorism activities and other forms of criminality indicates that the kinetic approach must be fully deployed to achieve the desired result. Supporting the kinetic approach with non-kinetic will cut off the lifeline of the sponsors of terrorist activities as well as bandits suppliers of logistics in the country.
The government must also be committed to the proper prosecution of those arrested and deal decisively with collaborators among security agencies.
We want the Americans and the British to come here and solve our problem. In stabilization operation, it is the locals that will solve their problem. And the problem in Nigeria will be solved only by Nigerians.
They also stressed the need for synergy between security agencies and the civil populace in winning the war against insurgency. Francis from NTA News.
Still on security, the Zone 13 Nigeria Police Headquarters, Ukpo, Anambra State, has debunked trending social report that a combined team of police and military on Sunday intercepted a huge cache of arms and ammunition from the convoy of the member representing Anambra East and West in the House of Representatives, Honorable Chinedu Obidigwe, at the outskirts of Nteje in Oyi, local government area of Anambra State. A statement by the zonal PPRO DSP Nwode Nkiruka said the publication is absolutely false, unfounded, and misleading. It notes that the report allegedly credited to Daily Times Nigeria was a figment of imagination deliberately orchestrated by mischief makers to create tension and chaos in the state for their selfish interests. The zonal command implores journalists and other well-meaning individuals to join fight against crime and be factual in their reportage. Consequently, the Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG Umar Musa Muri, urges the public to disregard the malicious publication and further assures them that the zone under his watch will unravel those behind the fake news in order to bring them to justice. The phenomenon of out-of-school children will soon be a thing of the past, given the progress made by the National Steering Committee and the technical working group set up by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development for the execution of the alternate school program for out-of-school children in the country. Ruth Aguele reports.
Nuclear family is made up of father, mother, and their children.
Education, a vital tool in building a solid foundation of any society. Unfortunately, not many are privileged to benefit from this basic right. But the alternate school program under the purview of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development and the Ministry of Education has been designed to change the narrative and bring hope for out-of-school children in the country. This meeting with key players is to put modalities in place, fill up gaps, and set the ball rolling for effective takeoff of the program.
While the program in itself is well-intentioned, it is also ambitious. Leveraging on my ministry's social investment programs, a platform is provided for those sections of the vulnerable poor to be able to take advantage of educational opportunities through the ASP to take a first step out of poverty in the long run.
The alternate school program is by nature structured outside the traditional approach used in tackling the out-of-school children syndrome in the country. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
Lagos is our first port of call, and Michael will be guiding us. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Lydia. Road traffic crashes is ranked the 9th leading cause of death and accounts for 2.2% of all deaths globally. Thus, stakeholders in the transportation subsector are strategizing on ways to reduce road crashes on Nigerian roads. Lynn Neneke reports that this was disclosed at the 2021 sectoral workshop for the FRS's Special Marshals in Lagos.
This gathering is aimed at brainstorming on how the Special Marshals can enhance their voluntary contributions to ensuring safer roads, as the rise in the numbers of road crashes and deaths has become a serious concern.
You see drivers on the wheels who are not really drivers, untrained. And this will continuously pose a challenge to us.
The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Femi Hamzat, reiterated the state's commitment to supporting Federal Road Safety Corps and Special Marshals realize their core mandate of forestalling accidents on Nigerian roads.
Drivers need to be more educated and to embrace all safety tips to ensure that sanity is on our roads.
The theme is Volunteerism Beyond Ember Months, the role of Special Marshals in combating road traffic crashes.
I believe that you have demonstrated skills in volunteerism and dedication and commitment to the ideals of road safety in Nigeria.
Take me back to the days where special marshals are not in contention with the regulars, but working towards the same purpose to achieve the same goal. We must have a better understanding of who we are as special marshals.
It is another way of furtherance of the FRSC 2021 corporate strategic goals of improving personnel capacity and competence in road safety management by the Special Marshal RS 2.1 Lagos.
Stakeholders are, however, optimistic that adherence to all safety measures can prevent road crashes. In Lagos, Lynn Neneke, NTA News.
Lagos State House of Assembly is intensifying efforts to repeal the state's Consumer Protection Agency bill with a view to protecting consumers' rights and checking the spread of substandard products across the metropolis. Musa Tolia reports that the bill has scaled the second reading on the floor of the House.
Over the years, issues around consumer rights and protection have remained topical, especially when products do not meet expected quality and the mechanism to seek redress is often slow or ineffective. Lagos State lawmakers believe there is need to take a second look at the legislation on the bill setting up such agencies due to strengthening their enforcement capabilities to protect consumers in the state.
In Lagos State, hazardous products are so prevalent in the society
We have agencies that normally would arrest, sanction bodies that trade in Lagos, but the victim is always left out.
Deliberations on the Consumer Protection Agency bill focused on eliminating substandard and hazardous products in markets across the metropolis.
It exposes the criminal-minded persons who intend to sell expired or hazardous bad products, clamp down on manufacturers or sellers of same. This bill is trying to give value for service, value for product. If you buy a product, you must get the correct value for the product you are buying.
It intensifies campaigns, lectures, advocacy, enlightenment, sensitization on substandard products.
Speaker, Lagos House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa mandated the Committee on Commerce and Industry to look into the bill and report back to the House in 2 weeks. In Lagos, Musa Toliad, NTA News.
Time now for some messages, and when we return, Jos is our next stop where Frama is standing by.
The broadcast media ecosystem is dynamic and requires continuous training for practitioners to perform optimally. NTA TV College JOS invites relevant officers to the following specially packaged training programs. Transmitter operation and maintenance. Date 1st November to 5th November 2021. 1 week. Photojournalism and photography. Date 8th November to 26th November 2021. 3 weeks. Advanced broadcast accounting and auditing. Date 22nd November to 3rd December 2021. 2 weeks. The course fee for the 3-week course is 130,000 naira per participant, while the fee for the 2-week course and 1-week engineering course is 100,000 naira only per participant, accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
The House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ad Hoc Committee to investigate the operations of real estate developers in FCT, Abuja, invites the general public to a one-day public hearing with key stakeholders on Thursday, October 28, 2021, by 10 a.m. at the House of Representatives Conference Room 043. Please note, the public hearing will be conducted in line with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, COVID-19 guidelines. For further inquiries, please contact the clerk on 081-6066-9019 or 091-2463-3817. Announcer, Honorable Blessing Onyeche Onu, Chairman.
History is history, so either you know it or you don't.
My advice to the younger generation is that they should learn from what we have started and what we have left.
I did things that ordinarily I should not have been doing. What that meant was that I was working hard.
Whatever assignment you are given in life, put in your best.
The military years were a disaster.
Smoldering effects of all that is what we are trying to cure.
is Nationwide and welcome to JOS. Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Ahmed Idris Wasi says democracy will thrive more if elected leaders respond to the yearnings and aspirations of the people. This was while flagging off the construction of Bashar, Yola, Wakat, Nasarawa, Wasi Road. Felicia Daliop Somaila has the report.
The 17.6-kilometer Bashir Yola Wakat Nasarawa Wasi Road has been in dilapidated condition for 15 years. The deplorable state of the road is a major challenge to communities along the route. Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, represented, expresses concern over the hardship experienced by the people and mobilized to site.
It's shorter. Person coming from Taraba, you have shortened his journey. If you come here on Sunday, you see trailers, about 20, 50 trailers during the rainy season, carrying cows to the east. And it's one of the shortest routes is to follow through Wase, follow Lafia, and you head to Onitsha or Kigwe axis.
Most people, marketers and miners that usually visit these mining sites from the 3 districts needs these particular roads. Before now, they have to go around and pass through Kanam local government before getting to Bashar. But with the construction of this road, I think it will make life much, much easier.
The road, which links Bashar to Adamawa, Taraba and Nasarawa states, is expected to be completed within 3 months. From Bashar in Wase local government area, Felicia Daliop Samaila, NTA News.
Key players at an orientation and leadership workshop organized by the Industrial Training Fund are asking local government chairmen to embark on policies and programs that will enhance the quality of life of their citizens. Ekemerenkan Kanan Ladoja has details.
The local government, being the third tier of government, is important in taking development to the grassroots, thereby improving the National Human Development Index. To ensure local government development strategies and plans are effectively implemented is one of the aims of the workshop. The chairman and their deputies were therefore taking on a course on how to improve local government administration, transformational leadership in a vocal world.
We are going to dovetail cue into the policies of the state in order to make our local government viable.
Communicate with the staff of the local government and to be loyal to my boss in the office.
The VUCA world is full of dilemmas. They are just happening. You are trying to target or battle this one, another one comes up. You are trying to fix your attention on this, another one rears its head. So it's so complex. And that is why the present situation requires transformational leaders.
For the Plateau State government, it is necessary for the local government chairman and their deputies to key into the policy core values of the Lalong administration.
ABC government is united by a manifesto, and that manifesto needs to be shared and it needs to be implemented down to the grassroots. And so we have to align our policies together with those of local government.
The 3-day workshop has the sole aim of repositioning local government administration in Plateau State. In Jos, Ekemeren Kanengladoja, NTA News.
That's it from Jos. Nationwide continues with Lydia in Abuja.
Many thanks, Rama. The federal government is assuring Nigerians that it is committed to repaying debts in line with the country's debt management strategy at the close of the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit. Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning assured the borrowings are in line with the nation's socio-economic demands. Leah Katung Babatunde completes the report.
Nigerian Economic Summit is the largest gathering of key stakeholders in the country to deliberate on issues confronting Nigerians. These editions centered around 5 thematic areas: high and sustainable growth, quality of life, national security, political economy, and digital transformation. It was a hybrid engagement occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic, and at the end, it was time for the Joint Planning Committee of the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit to meet the press.
So the borrowing is carefully planned, is carefully calibrated that we're able to meet the debt service obligations when they fall due.
Focusing on human capital development, especially the girl child, The committee agrees government requires the active collaboration of all to address the shortfalls in education, hence the need to holistically pursue the Safe School initiative.
Unless we do something about it with the fierce urgency of now, this has to be a collective action. Parents have to be assured that their children will be safe in school. Teachers have to be assured that they will be safe in school. And the children that have gone through those experiences need to be provided with psychosocial support so that they can actually go back and learn.
We feel fairly satisfied that in this partnership with government, we have the ear of government. Government is working hand in hand with us. We walk through the year, not just at the summit.
In the coming weeks, a green book containing all takes of the summit will be made available to the public and the report submitted to the Federal Executive Council to serve as policy advisory. In Abuja, Leah Katimbabatunde, NTA News.
The Registrar, Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, Professor Ishak Oloyede says all tertiary institutions are treated equally and that JAMB does not influence candidates' choice of tertiary institutions to seek admission. Preference, the registrar cleared the air over misgivings or perceived impressions that candidates with lower cutoff marks are influenced to seek admission into polytechnics and colleges of education. He was speaking during a round-table advocacy on the future of polytechnics, where the institutions is being repositioned for national relevance and global competitiveness.
You have over 100,000 spaces for polytechnic. Less than 15,000 applied. And you now say I should raise their UTME score to 300. When the supply is even more than the demand.
Other speakers called for more funding to make learning in polytechnics more attractive.
Our members, particularly the teaching staff in the sector, are demotivated as there is little or no sense of fulfillment or self-actualization in their chosen careers. This is adversely affecting productivity and leading to consistent migration of qualified manpower away from the sector.
The conference was organized by the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, seeking solutions to plethora of challenges facing technical and vocational education as well as training in Nigeria. Nigeria is blessed with diverse talents that are capable of proffering solutions to challenges facing the nation. This was demonstrated at the Innov 8 Hub Research and Development for Solution Workshop in Abuja. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday was there.
For 10 days, these scientists, drawn from selected universities across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, worked closely with mentors and experts in science, technology, and innovation. 12 of the scientists were grouped into 4 teams to identify a challenge in the Nigerian society and proffer an evidence-based solution.
Value addition through innovative research is the cutting-edge difference.
Team crop plants, team environment, team nutrition, and team sustainable cities all showcased their innovation.
There is a special device that was created to monitor pesticides and keep the health condition of rice fields for rice growers.
For the organizer, government-private sector partnership is key to national development.
If you continue to challenge this way, there will be so much product out there, and that Nigerian industrial or manufacturers could buy it and commercialize for the purpose of making our country industrialized.
Research and development is very important for innovation, and innovation is very essential for nation building.
The workshop is aimed at assisting the academia in redirecting their focus to viable solution-driven researches that will translate into innovations, inventions, and breakthrough for the nation. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
The success of every society depends on its capacity to equip its members with skills and competences that will enable their active participation in keeping the society dynamic. This was the thrust of a paper presentation by the former Minister of Education, Rukayyatu Ahmed Rufai, on the country's girl-child education at the 4th National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies convocation held at the National Assembly. Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Various security situations have no doubt led to the displacement of a segment of Nigerian population. The education of the girl child has also been impacted negatively.
And there should be a system that makes provision to address emergencies such as the challenges of girl child education.
It's a very, very clear illustration of this commendable work in terms of this remarkable value addition to progress and development of our country.
I have no doubt that through constant education, research and other capacity building program for the legislature, the National Assembly will be better placed to respond to the complex and multifaceted challenges.
Strengthening approach to education and skills, gender-based approach to policy implementation, and expansion of economic opportunities are the suggestions of the paper, which the legislators say are the focus of the 9th National Assembly.
The legislative agenda focuses on important facets of national development, including youth empowerment, poverty alleviation, and to ensure that 100 million Nigerians are lifted out of poverty in the remaining years of this administration.
The 112 graduates are made up of National Higher Diploma in Official Reporting, Postgraduate and Masters in Legislative Studies, Masters in Legislative Drafting, as well as Masters in Parliamentary Administration. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
We now go over to Enugu, where Mina is standing by with more reports on Nationwide. Over to you, Mina.
Good evening, Lydia. Welcome to Enugu. Grateful to President Muhammadu Buhari for approving and funding the rehabilitation of the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, the state government promised to undertake the rehabilitation of the access road to the site of some meteorological facilities at the airport. With the road project completed and inaugurated, stakeholders in the aviation industry commend the synergy between the federal and Enugu state governments in promoting safety in air travels. Susan Eze has details of the inauguration ceremony.
The redesigned and reconstructed road provides access to the navigational aid site and meteorological facilities of the National Airspace Management Agency, NEMA, at the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu. Hitherto in a deplorable condition, the joy this rehabilitated road has brought, both to the aviation workers and the airport community in general, is here expressed both in words and in body language.
It's a lot of vision for a leader to understand the connectivity, the importance and significance of having aviation and taking it in your stride as part of your primary responsibilities.
The state government, according to Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, had to undertake the rehabilitation work and other interventions to complement the laudable project undertaken by the federal government at the airport.
I am glad that our administration successfully undertook the redesign and reconstruction of this road. My administration reiterates its commitment to continuing provision of critical infrastructure to the benefit of all.
The National Airspace Management Agency and the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria found Governor Ugwuanyi worthy of the Safety Ambassador and the Outstanding Promoter of Air Safety Awards. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
The General Officer Commanding GOC 82 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Taoreed Lagbaja, says the Nigerian military remains keen about the welfare of serving and retired personnel. This was at the opening ceremony of a town hall meeting on review of harmonized terms and conditions of service, reviewed 2017, organized for serving and retired officers as well as soldiers in Southeast Zone in an effort to improve their welfare. Comfort Iron reports.
82 Division Headquarters in Enugu is the venue of the event. 7 soldiers, naval ratings, and airmen ready to interact with the DOC. Declaring the town hall meeting open this Tuesday, the DOC stated that the military, like every other human relationship, also has its own terms and conditions of service, which is subject to periodical review every 5 years. Hence the meeting to reflect the realities and peculiarities of this time.
Given the caliber of distinguished and very experienced serving and retired officers, soldiers, ratings, and airmen invited for this town hall meeting, I have no doubt that the armed forces of Nigeria will be better off from interaction. I therefore urge everyone present to be objective and honest in your contribution so that collectively we shall take the armed forces of Nigeria to the desired height.
An interactive moment where the serving and retired military personnel were given the platform of expression. Meanwhile, the town hall meeting on review of harmonized terms and conditions of service, revised 2017 with serving and retired officers and soldiers in the Southeast, is still ongoing. In Enugu, Comfort Ayim, NT News.
And that's a bit from Enugu. Nationwide continues in Sokoto after this break, where a smile is standing by.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
The family of Iweka of Uoha village in Onwa East LGA of Edo State cordially invites you to the funeral ceremony of our dearly beloved father, husband, uncle, grandfather, and great-grandfather, late Pa Charles Uzo Jerry Iweka, aged 87. Funeral arrangement, Thursday 28 October. Body leaves mortuary to his hometown, number 3, Upper Ivioho Quarters, Uoha, Onwa East Local Government Area. Vigil Mass, same day and venue, 6 p.m. Social wake keep 9 p.m. till dawn. Friday 29 October, funeral mass at the Brendan Catholic Church, Uoha, time 10 a.m. Interment follows immediately at his residence. Entertainment and reception holds on Saturday by 12 noon. Sunday 31st, Thanksgiving service at St. Brendan Catholic Church, Uoha, time 10 a.m. Dr. Kate Onoja, CEO, Grabo Fertility Clinic, for the family announcer.
And welcome to Nationwide from Sokoto Network Center. The Northeast Governors Forum has condoled with the government and people of Sokoto State over the recent banditry attack on Grenyo Market, during which 43 people were killed and 53 others survived with various degrees of injuries. Dalhat Abdullahi has the report.
The chairman of the Northeast Governors Forum, the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, was accompanied on the condolence visit to Sokoto by the governor of Gombe State, Muhammadu Inwa Yahya. Professor Zulum expressed displeasure over the incident. The forum prayed Allah to grant those killed with Jannatul Firdaus, the injured a quick recovery, and the families of the deceased the fortitude to bear the loss. Professor Babagana Zulum also announced a donation of 20 million naira by the forum in aid of the families of those who lost their lives in the attack.
It is not easy. Inshallah, we shall be with you. We're ever ready to provide the necessary support to your state.
While thanking the Northeast Governors Forum for the concern, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal attributed the influx of marauders in Sokoto to the security operations in Zamfara State, calling on the federal government to consider the expansion of such operation to the entire region.
That is a clear show of love and concern for your brothers that are here in Sokoto State, and the relationship that has been existing between, of course, northeastern states and northwestern states, and in particular Sokoto and the two states of Borno and Gombe.
Governor Tambuwal led his visitors to Jarma UK Academy, where several orphans of the Northeast Zone were taken care of by a philanthropist, Umarun Kwabo AA. While thanking the philanthropist and government of Sokoto State for the concerns on the future of the orphans, Professor Zulum supported them and their teachers with 3 million naira. In Sokoto, Talat Abdullahi, NTA News.
The federal government has started the disbursement of conditional cash transfer under the Household Upliftment Program to 74,000 beneficiaries across the 23 local government areas of Sokoto State. Sheikh Muhammad Deti reports that the beneficiaries were full of praises to President Muhammadu Buhari for coming to their aid.
The conditional cash transfer under the Household Upliftment Program was introduced by federal government through Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development in collaboration with World Bank, with a view to lifting Nigerians out of poverty. In Sokoto State, 74,000 beneficiaries that include elderly women, physically challenged from across the 23 local government areas of the state were enrolled. The beneficiaries, majority women, trooped to get their money. Each woman was given 10,000 naira as a payment for 2 months' allowances. In an interview, the beneficiaries described the program as important, which will change their lives for the better, and prayed God to continue to guide the Buhari administration. The Dex officer, Wamoko local government, Sambo Tukur Kalambaina, and a district councillor, Mariam Tambari Wamoko, advised the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the money.
It has assisted our people in different ways.
My advice to the beneficiaries to know the small business that they are going to do with that money.
The Household Upliftment Program is designed to last for 3 years, and each beneficiary will be paid 10,000 naira every 2 months. The program is being monitored by civil society organizations and some independent monitors. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
And that's our package from Sokoto. It's back to Lydia in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Asma'u. Implementation of critical projects is a priority of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in 2022. The ministry is therefore proposing more than 291 billion naira in its 2022 fiscal year, a figure that is 5% higher than the 2021 allocation. Mobolaji Moribirin has more on this.
The last few days have been busy ones for legislators whose attention have shifted to ministries, departments and agencies of government for their budget scrutiny. Leading the floor here is the Minister of State for Agriculture and Rural Development, explaining to the committee the amounts released to the ministry and its performances in the current year.
These projects are at various, level of conclusions, and I believe most of the projects will be completed by the end of the year.
The problem is insurmountable. I believe very deeply
that we are able as a country to overcome some of these problems.
The Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation also defended its 2022 budget proposal of 12 billion naira before the Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs.
It is our prayers that the National Assembly will consider and approve the proposed 2022 budget of the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
The whole administration in this country ends on your table, and you must do all it takes to provide all the needs at all costs.
The budget has personnel cost of 4.48 billion naira, while overhead cost is 4.42 billion naira. From the National Assembly, Mobolaji, Moribiri, NTA News.
From Calabar, Josina Ethim reports that the Eastern Naval Command of the Nigerian Navy is seeking the intervention of the legislature to facilitate budgetary provision for funding and enhanced maritime security. Flag Officer Commanding Eastern Naval Command Rear Admiral Sanusi Ibrahim made the appeal during the visit of the House of Representatives Committee on Navy. The report.
Visit of the House of Representatives Committee on Navy to the Eastern Naval Command is part of its oversight function aimed at appraisal of activities and projects of the force. Counting achievements of the Eastern Naval Command for the period under review, the Flag Officer Commanding Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Sanusi Ibrahim, intimates that 42 projects are being executed, with 16 completed, while 26 are ongoing.
The Command, therefore, recommends that the House Committee on Navy should facilitate the construction of jetties at 4 operating bases in Dhaka.
Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Navy assures that the Hydrographic Agency Bill and reviewed Armed Forces Act, when assented, will address some of the challenges hindering smooth operations of the Nigerian Navy.
We'll continue to do its best to ensure that there is accountability in what National Assembly appropriated for, either in times of budgetary process, in times of special interventions and grants and what have you.
The committee was conducted around some of the projects executed by the command. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
Similarly, the House of Representatives Committee on Navy was also on an oversight visit to Eastern Command, Uyo, in Akwa Ibom State. Calvin Samuel will tell us more.
Briefing newsmen after the store-run naval facilities in Akwa Ibom State, the chairman, House of Representative Committee on Navy, Yusuf Adamu, says the visit, which is a part of National Assembly oversight function, is to enable them a certain level of implementation of projects, as well as have first-hand knowledge of the command's areas of need, which will guide their decision when approving the 2022 budgetary allocation for the Nigerian Navy.
We have to make sure that we that have the statutory mandate of allocating funds to the Nigerian Navy do the needful by making sure that resources are allocated to some of these forward operating bases.
Expressing satisfaction with the level of work done at the places visited, Adamu assured the command that as legislators, they will continue to do their best in repositioning the Nigerian Navy for optimal performance in the security of Nigerian coastal way. The team, which arrived through Ibaka Navy base, visited Maritime Academy, Oron, NNS Jubilee, and Navy Military School, Ikoton in Akwa Ibom State. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with the Aduda family on the passing away of their beloved father, Right Reverend Tanimu Samari Aduda, after a brief illness. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, it stated that President Buhari also commiserates with the Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion in the Federal Capital Territory, and especially the Diocese of Gwagwalada on the transition to glory of its pioneer bishop, who devoted his life to contributing to the spiritual well-being of its members. He particularly extends condolences to Senator Philip Aduda, representing the Federal Capital Territory in the Senate, as well as Gabriel Aduda, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, urging them to uphold and surpass the legacies of their father in their services to God, country, and humanity. President Buhari prays for the repose of the soul of the late bishop. He asks for strength for the family and those who mourn at this time. And that concludes Nationwide. Before we go, let's remind that NTA's fight against rape and rapists is still on. Join us. Thank you for watching. I am Lydia Odije Ochi. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.